How are you? I put eucalyptus on my armpits and it's burning. So if I just start doing this randomly, that's why. There are some essential oils you can use and some you can't. And I'm learning what I can use and what I can't use eucalyptus on. All right, steampunk. Okay. Oh my God, they're so itchy. And I shaved them yesterday, so that doesn't help. I just spit all over my hands, which spit all over the cards. I'm sexy and I know it. You know, I wonder what this reading is going to be about. You kind of might know because you're looking at the reading. I can see a skull. What the fuck? Okay, so I can see like a half a skeleton in a tree right now with a crow in the middle of it. Oh my God, there's a crow right there. Oh, that's a raven. She's a big buck. Whoa, she's really big. I put some peanut butter toast out there. Some bread. Whoa, okay, so I didn't even know she was standing there. Oh, she's big. Oh my God, there's her partner. Oh shit, there's two of them. Oh, she just jumped on a branch and the whole tree just shook. Okay, so a magical pair of ravens are in the tree. Whoa. Yeah, they're going to eat that bread on the ground. Good for them. Okay, let's see. What do they got to say? I feel like that wants to come out. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Kicked out of something. Uprooted. Derailed. Put on another path of least destruction. Whoa. Okay, what the heck does that mean? I just moved the crow by accident. Yep, they're still there. They're so beautiful. And so, like, when you look at a raven, they look like prehistoric. Okay, we got Pisces and Gemini just showed up. Oh, there's Aries. I just heard fight till the end. And look at the end card. Like somebody is making somebody try really hard for something. And I think somebody thinks that they can't do it, but they actually outrun this person. And then look at the bottom of the deck. Page of Cups. Look at how sad that person is. Like, they're just all alone, okay? They've got these, like, awful nightmares or thoughts that come in at night, okay? They're working their ass off, okay? They're working literally their David Hasselhoff ass off, okay? And they are pumping and producing things that they didn't even probably, I don't even think they know what they're doing half the time. Moon in limbo. It's like, I think they, oh, you know what? You know what I'm getting? Okay, so I like when this happens. Something flashes. So there was this point, I'm a huge like Yellow Wolf fan. He's a rapper. And there was this point where he put out an album like every week. And there was like 4 albums, I think, that came out in 1 month, or 3 albums that came out in 1 month. And I had to stop listening to him. Like, I didn't listen to one of those albums. I think I've like slowly introduced them into my life, but somebody moving that fast, I don't know what was going on in his life, but clearly something was going on in his life and he really wanted to stay distracted. And the only way he thought he could be distracted was if he just worked. Right? Which is what a lot of people do. They become kind of like workaholics, right? You work, and then you don't even really know what you're doing, right? You don't even really know what you're doing half the time because it's not as much work as what you have to do, okay? And then for some reason, you're doing all this work, but the money's coming in so slow that you're like, I don't understand. Why am I Queen of Pentacles in reverse if all I'm doing is working, all I'm doing is producing, and I don't even have a house? I don't even have anywhere stable to be, and wherever I am, I'm just getting absolutely massacred at night with no matter what I do. It just doesn't seem fair. Okay, that's weird. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I just accidentally flipped this top card and then didn't know where this card went. And I was like, where did that card just disappear to? Houdini. Okay. So then we move to the Lovers. Yeah. It's like, I almost think somebody made you marry work. Like somebody was like, this person here, this angel here acted like some type of god and made somebody excessively work. Okay, and then even at night, they were like, you're not working hard enough. What are you going to do to get a second job? Or what are you going to do to get a third job? Or what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That kind of like massive bullying, okay? And you okay, I think this is the culprit. I think this is the person that's acting like some type of god in your life, okay? And making you work super hard. Like that could be your boss. In 3D or another dimension, you know, and they're just making you work and work and work, and everything you do, you just produce for them. Basically, it's like you're just giving everything to them, right? And you don't realize that that cup is full of everything that you are, and you're just giving it to him because he's expecting it from you, right? And that would kind of be like, I mean, if you are an entrepreneur in some way and you get with this company, okay, and say you hand make something, like now I see like pottery or something, and you're like, okay, this is all handmade. Like I can only produce so much. Like I'm one person. Like no, I cannot fill every Lowe's in America. That's impossible. But I can do like 5 or 6. And this guy's like, no, you need to produce more. You need to produce more. So you've just been working. And then at the same time, you know, when you're producing that much work, you have to realize that everything has to be different, right? So you have to have more than just one idea cranking out. But what they didn't, I don't think what this guy realized was how hard you were willing to work, right? It's like you almost... he abused something. He abused your ability to want to make it to the top. And I think that's why you haven't gone anywhere. Because it's whatever it is that you're producing, it's not making enough. So the world is like, I can't help but take this Four of Swords in reverse because I think that maybe this was just like a lesson you had to learn about how hard you were willing to work for something, and now you might take that strong work ethic with you when you leave, okay? And then we've got the Sun, just like sitting on the top of the deck with the Six of Pentacles. So it's like getting a balance of that money over this Emperor. Okay, like, I think really all it is that you have to put your foot down and be like, okay, if you want me to do this, we're going to renegotiate what I'm making because I'm not making enough money. Someone's not making enough and they're worried about it. So they're overproducing for less. And actually, you know what's funny? So I think this happened yesterday. The store owner came to me while I was putting up the reading yesterday. So I must have just already been in that channeling state, and this man came to me. And he was working in like a flea market or a market in some way. And he said to me that there's another man or another family that has a stand that like his as well. And he goes, I go, okay, well, do you fight against this person? Like as in prices wise? And he showed me that they both have, like, okay, how it was coming up was Mexican, and because I was eating beef brisket cornitas, okay? So he showed me this cornitas package, and he was like, I price it at $22.99. And I go, okay, so if Buddy over there has it, the exact same thing that you have, how much does he sell it for? And he's like, sells it for $20.99. And I go, okay, well, who's busier, you or him? He goes, he's always busier than me because he puts his prices down. And I go, okay, well, and clearly this man needed to learn the value of a dollar. So I was like, okay, put it this way. You're in the same building as this man, which means there's automatic competition, but there's competition with everybody. Everybody has a twin they have to basically compete against, especially in a mall or a market. Okay, so put it this way, you either match that company, okay, whoever you're going up against, you either match them or you go below them. And he looked at me, he goes, yeah, but I'm gonna lose money then. And I go, but how much is the value of a dollar to you? Because if all you have to do is lower something by $2, do you really think you're gonna lose money off of it? Considering he makes these products himself in his house, right? And then packages them up and sells them at the stand. I was like, do you really think like you're losing something at the end of the day? If you sold out of all these packages, which you're not even used to selling one of them a weekend, you sold out of all of them, you really think by dropping it $2, that's gonna make a difference? And then he looked at me and I was like, I'm just trying to say it how it is. Like, if you really think that by having a competition that you're supposed to work that aggressively against them, then no one's going to be at your stand. But if you learn how to work with the competition and then beat them, you deserve where you need to be, right? So I don't know if that's for somebody on the channel or something like that, but that came through as like a channeled message about somebody having to learn the value of a dollar. And that $1, no, is not going to change your life, right? You can spend as you go because $100 or $200 isn't going to move you that next week. It's going to take a lot longer to get to the top than what somebody thinks. They think that every dollar matters, which it does. But when you're dealing with competition, you have to know when to be flexible. Somebody had to realize that they had to bend, and they weren't used to that. They wanted to keep it at a certain way to gain a certain value. But it's not always about the value coming in. It's about how much comes in. You change the price of something, you drop the price of something that you're not used to selling, and then you sell out. I'm pretty sure you just gained a profit there. Okay? So it's almost like somebody hasn't realized that yet. They don't realize what the value of what they're doing is. They think that the more you produce, the more you're worth. But it's actually not. You could produce quite less and still be worth more. Right? It's just whether or not you're used to hanging yourself pretty thin. Okay? Or keeping yourself thick. Every time I look at the shirt, I hear Kid Rock's. You're straight out of Compton, I'm straight out the trailer. But instead of saying trailer, I say quarantine because I'm straight out of quarantine. But I'm also straight out the trailer. So I say it back and forth every time. But Kid Rock comes to my head every time I look at this shirt. Every time. Oh, you're straight out of Compton? Well, I'm straight out the trailer. Not that either one beats the other one, but they're basically the same at this point, I would say. All right. Okay. This Nine of Swords, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody is not happy. They are not happy about where they are. They're not happy with what is going on. They are not bashful. They are quite full of rage, okay? They are not liking what's going on at all, okay? So that's where you have to have some mercy for yourself, okay? You have to treat yourself better than how you get treated, okay? And then there's my bouncer card, Gondash Security, to the rescue. So it's almost like you have to set the boundaries, right? What does the security guard do? They make sure all the laws are abided by, okay? A bouncer knows when someone's drunk. They know when to kick somebody out. They know when somebody looks suspicious. They know when somebody's not allowed in. They know when somebody's underage, okay? And they know when somebody's being a one-sided, obnoxious idiot and only thinking about themselves, okay? They don't let one-sided, obnoxious idiots come into the bar. And if they do, they usually keep an eye on them, and then at the first excuse they can get, they kick them out. All right? So it's almost like I think the universe is bringing this up because you are working too hard. Someone's working too hard. Yeah. They're getting bullied, really, okay? And that's just the truth. And they're making somebody hang in something that they don't deserve to because they know the potential of something. Actually, I was watching this series called Brokenwood Mysteries. I pretty much only really watch BBC and Acorn. I don't really watch American, Canadian TV. And it was about this man, okay, who values antiques. And he was scamming people. He had this fake show for the show, and he would tell these people that whatever they had was a mock or a fake, and then he would meet them after the show, and he would buy that mock or fake from the customer and then sell it for 5 times the price of what he bought it, if not 100 times the price of what he bought it. He bought something for $900 and he was going to flip it for like 20 grand, right? By telling this man that it was worth nothing. So maybe that's what this is about, saying someone's telling you that you're not worth anything or that your product isn't worth as much. So you're working extra hard for them, right? And really they're using you, they're hanging you, they're a scam. They're scamming you into believing that you're not worth anything, because that's what a narcissist does. I'm sorry, but they put all the fingers towards them. They don't let anybody else get any type of assistance or help. If that microphone or if that spotlight gets put off of them, they have to immediately put it back onto themselves in some type of way. Okay, so immediately putting you in the dark as soon as you say something that makes sense. They shut you down, they close the door, and they walk away. And they make you hang in this hatred for yourself, thinking that you can't produce enough because you're worth nothing. When really, I actually kind of think you need to get away from this, to be honest. Seems like you've been wanting, and you know what? I think maybe that's the answer, is you give this person an ultimatum. You give this emperor an ultimatum once and for all and say, you either pay me properly for what I'm doing or I'm going to find somebody else. Because they know the value of you, so they're devaluing you because they know how much they're supposed to pay. So I think as soon as you put this person on the spot, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to give me this job? Are you going to give me what I deserve? Or are you going to fucking kill me off with everybody else and I'm going to leave? Right? It's like, you know what they're doing. You know that this is a disease for them. You know that this person is corrupt, and that sometimes it doesn't matter how good you think a person is, the way that their mind is completely different, right? So, it's mimosa time on the bottom. Look at that. And then with Warlock, okay, and the Ace of Cups. So look at that. There's 2 cups right there in between this guy. So I don't know if you're maybe a masculine energy, or maybe you're feminine that has to step in their masculine energy and stand up for themselves. Give yourself a little bit of shot of testosterone. Maybe listen to some Slipknot or something, and then just walk in and just fucking rip your fucking boss's asshole apart or something like that. Like somebody's got to get off their ass and do something and not be used anymore. And I know that it's like easier to say than do, but like, don't think I haven't done this before. Okay, I can say this because I've done it already before. Okay, I know what my value is. Some people don't know what their value is, right? Some people stretch themselves way too thin because somebody tells them that they have to. And that's why I think you need to either leave it or fight it. Because if you fight this bully, I can probably almost guarantee you that you will win. Even if you walk away, they'll probably end up calling you and being like, yeah, I'm really sorry, you should come back. Because look at on the bottom of the deck, there's the corpse, okay, with the deadline card to this monster, okay, who is AKA actually really a fucking loser, okay? There's some type of bipolar fucking werewolf that turns into other people all the time to go and hurt people. And this person has to be over with. Somebody, and that's the thing is somebody has to draw the line. You realize that it always takes one person out of the crowd to change something? You might be that person. Okay, this is a dead man walking. Whoever you're dealing with is dead man walking, which means they have no soul. They have no righteous path. They're hurting people. If they had a soul, they wouldn't be hurting people. Okay, they're corrupt in some way. They're a monster. They're not who they claim to be. They wear quite a heavy mask. This boss might be the kind of person that like takes everybody out for lunch or like buys everybody lunch one day, and then you think that he's the good guy, right? Because he always turns, you know, he might be that kind of person that like walks into a room and he knows everybody's name. Yeah, he knows everybody's name because he's a fucking boss and he's supposed to know everybody's name, right? He might appear to be bigger than what he really is in order for people to kind of fear him a little bit. Like, oh, there comes Mr. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Mr. Blah, blah, blah barely even owns the fucking company. He owns like 5 shares. Get over it. He can't do what he thinks he can do to you. And that's the thing is like, it's 2023 now, man. You can't just fire somebody because you don't like them. So if you're producing something for them, I mean, I can probably guarantee you that whatever it is that you're doing, you will find work somewhere else if this doesn't go the way that you want it to go. Because it's not going to go the same for everybody. Okay, not everybody's boss is going to be this douchebaggy. I just saw a 2, 3, 4, and not everybody's boss is going to be as angry as this person. So it's not like this whoever this person is a loser. You know, and that's actually my sister and I were kind of talking about this morning because she had this dream about somebody, a family member. And this family member is so awful to us, and they're so awful actually in real life, to be honest. The way that they use people and the way that they plead victim all the time and the way that they destroy people's lives, and she has no fucking right to do what she does to people. And then she plays this victim and this battered woman all of a sudden, and you're like, okay, so you can go from this psychosomatic fucking throwing shit around the house to all of a sudden bawling your eyes out because you're some type of victim. Like you're fucking crazy. And that's the thing is like, I offered to help her. People have offered to help her. And that's where you know, like if you offer help to somebody, maybe they're not ready for the help, but at the same time, if they truly knew what was going on, they would take that help because they would want to fix what they're doing. Right? Why would you want to hurt other people because you're hurt? And that's what I'm getting with this werewolf is like, they transform into somebody else. And they could be very moon inflicted as well. And we just had a full moon, so they could have went fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over the last couple of days because the moon was full, right? They don't know how to act, okay? Because they're a monster and they've got so many different masks that they just keep putting on a different face for everybody and nobody truly knows who they are. So this warlock, okay, whoever this masculine energy is in the middle that literally has 2 cups coming in for them, all they have to do is decide if they're going to leave or if they're going to fight for themselves. Because this situation has a deadline, and I believe it's right now. It has a deadline to change. So either it changes or you change it. Because regardless, it's never going to be the same after this. And that is just timing. I cannot say anything, okay? Don't panic or worry. I believe that this person is the one that's obsessing the most, okay? And I would honestly, I would kind of just stay cold to this person. Like, this person is, whoever you're dealing with seems like to be a very sad person, okay? And they choose sadness most of the time. And I think almost you choose sadness as well. And this is a vampire. This person is a vampire, which means they're sucking you dry, okay? If you don't slow down your role in this, you will get hurt, okay? Because you'll start overproducing and you can't do that, okay? So whatever this person is, they're cold. And they're going to panic if you take what you have away from them. Okay? So I think they have an anxiety, like, I think they have anxiety as it is. And I think that that's why the business or how you feel is how you feel, right? Because they're worrying. So I think you worry because they're worrying. And you don't realize that it's them worrying and not you. You have nothing to worry about. The world will always turn. You will always find something. It's people who can't replace you, who think that maybe they can, because they don't really realize a good thing. So when you all of a sudden take something away, they might go, holy shit, we just realized what we lost. And now once they come back, I don't ever want them to leave. Like, if you go on vacation or something, right? If you decide to just take a break because you need to stop for a minute, right? They might just go, oh my God, look what we just did. Like, we just lost this person for a week. We just lost this person for a month, and our whole fucking shit almost went down, right? Because people, they don't know what they have until it's gone, right? There's a Yellow Wolf song right there. I was wondering if that motherfucker was going to come in with a song or not, knowing how much I love him. I was like, are you going to sing me a song today? Yeah, he is. And it's called Till It's Gone. Right? Because I think that's kind of what the song is called. Like, people abusing people, and, you know, just because somebody does something for you, it's like one person, you know, brings you in a coffee one day, and then they bring you in a coffee the next day, and then you don't reciprocate or bring them one or pay for it, and then they just expect you to keep bringing it all the time, and you're like, okay, well, the last time I heard, this was a two-way street. So why am I only the one doing everything, right? Because people don't know what they have until it's gone. So if you take something away from somebody that's abusing you, fucking damn right. I mean, and now I'm getting The Shield. I don't know if you've ever seen that show before, but The Shield, Vic is this cop. Okay, he's actually a detective. And he wants to take this woman away from her husband because he's beating her. And he finds this lady who runs a women's shelter, and he's like, please, can you take this woman in for the night? And she's like, we can't force women to come here. Women come here because they feel safe, because they've already run away. But you can't take somebody out of an abusive relationship and make them get help. They don't want help. They ain't gonna ask for it. And if you try to help somebody who doesn't want any help, they might freak out on you and turn the fucking tables, right? So you have to be kind of like careful how you offer help. People have to know that they can trust you, that you're somebody they can talk to, that you're somebody that they can lean on, and then they will start to, right? So I feel like maybe you're used to that. Like, maybe you're used to abusive patterns around you, so you don't realize that you're being abused by this person. And whatever it is, they're making you produce something, and like maybe it's a husband making you have a lot of kids, right? Like that's actually, ooh, I just saw that was a Grey's Anatomy episode. I used to watch it back in the day when it was cool, and it was like season 2 or season 1. This woman comes in and she's already had like 7 kids, but her husband doesn't believe in not having children. He's super like religious. So she's got 7 kids, and she's like, please, like, you have to destroy my uterus after this kid. Like, he won't let her go on birth control. He doesn't believe in birth control. So she's like, you have to destroy my tubes. Like, I can't have another kid. Right? This one, he wasn't abusing her or anything, but they had religious beliefs coming into their marriage. And she couldn't have any more kids. Like, she's exhausted. She was like put in the hospital like 2 different times just for exhaustion and dehydration because she was taking care of so many kids she forgot to take care of herself. A true mother, might I add. Okay? So to wrap it up, we just got Strength card came down, the 2 of Swords came down, and the 4 of Wands. right? And I think that that's the end message is where are you going to be strong? That's what you've got to figure out. That's the rock and the hard place you're between, is where are you going to be strong and where are you going to be successful? Because success comes when you create something that is successful, not when you overproduce and hurt. Because this could be a very dangerous card. Just because you can do something, it doesn't mean that you're always supposed to do it. And just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you're supposed to be worked to the bone to create it because you're good at it. Fuck that. You make things at your own pace. So, anyways, good reading today, Aquarius. The sun is out again with the 9 of Pentacles. Like, that's definitely somebody's freedom, somebody's independence of breaking away from this boss and doing what you need to do. Producing how you can produce and not being overused or abused somewhere because you can do something. You're not a lab monkey, okay? People aren't allowed to just stick needles in you all the time and test you for things. They're not paying you. They don't get to use you. And if you don't want to take a whole bunch of needles that day, they can't force you to. All right, that's it. Peace out. Have a good one. Namaste. And yeah, I just heard Sean Paul, just give me the light. Ba ba ba. Avec off